May I proceed, Mr.
Duly noted, Your Honor. You may proceed, sir.
Good afternoon, Attorney Diokno and Attorney Poa.
Afternoon.
Yeah. So I really want to be enlightened. I have no illusion na magkakasundo yung dalawang side today because you have the eloquent Attorney Diokno on one side and the eloquent no joke on the other side. So sa pangalan pa lang baliktad na. But I think the discussions are very important. And I do appreciate your opening, Congressman Diokno. I appreciate your oral arguments because I've been pondering these questions. What if, hindi ko na sabihin this administration, let's say in future administrations, this exact thing happens, 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, iba ang SALN, iba yung income ng COA chairman or ng ombudsman files cases about many, mukhang maraming congressman makakasuhan ngayon. So, very, very much relevant yung ating pinag-uusapan ngayon. So, just in the spirit of liberality, same kay Senator Pia, after one answers, if one wants to make a quick rebuttal, I'll ask you the question, but let's try to be concise. So, Counsel, may I ask, let's start with the case of Duterte versus House of Representatives. Thank you for reminding us about certain precedents and how I voted last time. But you would agree, di ba, that when you have legal proceedings, even in legislation, you follow what the latest law is. So, for example, if you're allowed to issue a general warrant before Stonehill versus Diokno, but after Stonehill versus Diokno, so if before Stonehill versus Diokno, walang doctrine of the fruit of the poisonous tree, then some policemen will still submit evidence that was illegally acquired. But after that, we have to follow. So you did make your point about Obiter Dictum. I'll go to that. But I just want to start out by saying that the fact is there is a Duterte versus House of Representatives. So with your permission, let's start discussing that. So this case of Duterte versus House of Representatives came out after the impeachment of CJ Corona, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the two elements was discussed in this case. The act charge must be impeachable under Article 11, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, and 2, the act committed must be committed during the term of the impeachable officer. You commented on that. Can you elaborate or give your stand regarding, I think you agree with letter A, right? That the charge must be an impeachable offense. I mean, we all agree on that, right?
Well, I would distinguish, Your Honor, please, between what we would call ratio decidendi, or the rule in that particular case, and obiter dicta, which are side comments or incidental remarks made in the opinion of the court. If we are speaking of the ratio decidendi of the Duterte versus House of Representatives case, I would have to disagree that it relates to the statements that you mentioned. My understanding of that case is it really relates to the first mode of impeachment and the procedures that must be followed, the one-year ban provided in the Constitution, how that will be applied when impeachment complaints are filed by at least 1/3 of the members of the House of Representatives. Yung pong nabanggit nila that the basis of any charge must relate to the incumbency of the official, in my view, that is obiter dicta, not necessary
I
for the
appreciate your
decision
answer.
of the
We'll go to
case.
that. But regardless of the Duterte versus House of Representatives ruling, we do agree with letter A. The act charged must be an impeachable offense under Article 11(2) of the Constitution.
I would agree, but if
Yes.
I may be allowed to just
No,
qualify
this is just a
that.
general. This is not a trap question. So,
No,
diba, so the officer has to be impeachable, and the acts charge should be an impeachable offense. And since you have betrayal of public trust, that's quite broad. No? So this is not a trap question. This is just laying the basis.